Weights and Downer. You or someone you know has lost the ability to earn a living because someone put the company interests before their well-being. In times like these, there's one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer. Let us fight for your rights.
And welcome back to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Folse, and once again, we say goodbye to someone well known in this area and a quiet, kind of gentleman personality, but truly well known here in the area. And certainly my condolences go out to Gina Dender and her entire family. I ran into her the other day at Hebert's Cafe, and she informed me of the passing of her father, Gerald Adams. I was taken back because not far from where I live, I would see Mr. Gerald working in his yard several times, would stop and, trade pleasantries and move on our way. But he was certainly a gentleman and well known in the area for sure. And let me, if you don't mind, read his obituary for you. As we look back on a life well lived, we remember Gerald Joseph Adams, a cherished member of the Houma community who passed away on September 7th at the age of 84. Throughout his life, Gerald was known for his unwavering curiosity, entrepreneurial spirit, and passion for adventure. He was born on September 19, 1939, and he graduated high school and became a successful business owner in the area. Following his retirement, he indulged his wanderlust, exploring various corners of the globe. A skilled barber by trade, he also delved into research on the German submarine that sunk in the Gulf of Mexico after World War II, showcasing his intellect and dedication to learning. Gerald was a true Renaissance man, culminating his life's experiences into a unique tapestry of skills and hobbies. Beginning in his early years, he performed in many rock and roll bands here in the area. He was one of the best bass players around. He was a talented woodworker, creating intricate pieces of art and handmade furniture. His love for the sea led him to design and build his sailboat, and he thoroughly enjoyed scuba diving, flying, and sailing. A quiet yet charismatic presence, Gerald was a pillar in the community, garnering respect and admiration from all who knew him. His legacy will live on in the hearts of his loving wife of 42 years, Louise Vice Adams, daughter Gina Dender and husband Tom, stepson Tony James and wife Laurie, grandchildren Hunter, Michael, and James Dender, step-grandchildren Matthew, Robert, and Ann James, step-great-grandchildren Madison and Elise James, siblings Robert Adams and wife Mary Allen, Carolyn Hart and husband Herbie, Andrea Joseph and husband Jay, and Mona Arsimont and husband Curtis, and the many family members and friends who were fortunate enough to have crossed paths with Gerald. Gerald is preceded in death by his first wife, Faye Kaufman-Soutier, father Milton Adams, mother Evelyn Punch LeBlanc, stepfather Jesse LeBlanc, stepmother Enola Bro Adams, stepbrother Jesse LeBlanc, stepson Thomas James, grandparents Julia Arabelle Adams, Albert Adams, Mr. and Mrs. Roman Punch. In honor of a life well lived, the course of funeral services were held on September 19th on his 85th birthday, and he was laid to rest at St. Francis Cemetery, number 2, as a final tribute to his remarkable journey. And what I'd like to do at this point also is to quote one of his grandchildren. What a great quote. And it says, Gerald was one of the coolest uniquely talented, quietly charismatic guys you will ever know. Boy, that hit the nail on the head. He certainly was that. And from the many times, once again, that I would run into him, I didn't know him very well. Of course, I knew his daughter, Gina. We all went to Vanderbilt Catholic. She was a little younger than I was, but he certainly was just a nice person. When you'd run into him, he would talk about a lot of different things. I can recall at the townhouses, which I built some years back, which was at that time right across from the Houma Courier, he was helping a couple of his friends who had their boats parked at the marina. He was helping them make little things that you would put on the pier, whether it was to tie their ropes up or to do different things. So I guess the word piddling would fall into there some way, somehow. A lot of times when I'd pass his house, I was on my four-wheeler and I was going to another piece of property I had. He was always on a ladder or doing something in his backyard that had something to do with wood. So obviously, this was a great passion of his, and he took it to heart, and he did a lot of great things with it. And what a gentle spirit. And of course, if you know his family, just everyone knows the gentle spirit that Mr. Gerald Adams had. Now, I know he delved in music a little bit. I was talking with Mr. Marshall Falk sometime last week, and he talked about what a great musician Mr. Gerald was. And that's something that I didn't know. I guess he played in many bands before my time, but certainly Mr. Gerald was so quiet that that's something he probably wouldn't bring up when we were in conversation. So he's certainly one of those guys that was looked up to in the community. He had a big heart, he had a great soul. He was fun to talk with, and I know he will be missed by a community here in the parish. May Mr. Gerald rest in peace, and condolences to his entire family. Amen, for the Lord giving us him for such a long time. Once again, may he rest in peace. Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.